Hi guys and welcome back. Today we're discussing the top 5 footwear fitting mistakes. Okay, so mistake number 1 is not having your feet measured. A lot of people come into the shop or buy boots online and assume that their foot size is the same in all of their footwear, so from trainers all the way to walking boots, and also may not have had their feet measured for a long time. So the first thing we recommend is getting your feet measured. If you come into store, this will obviously be offered to you as part of our footwear fitting service. But if you're trying boots on at home, we've got a really good service online now. If you head to one of our booths and go to the bottom, there'll be Seek Expert Advice. You can click that, we'll send you an online form which will allow you to measure your feet at home, and we can then give you a rough size, and we can also look at widths as well, so we can suggest the right last for you as well. So the first thing to do is definitely get your feet measured. Feet change depending on your age and also how long ago you had your feet last measured. Some of us won't have had our feet measured since we were youngsters, so definitely worth doing, and it's the first step in getting a really good fit when it comes to walking boots. Mistake number 2 is not wearing the right socks to your fitting. So this is the same for at home as in store. If you're coming in for a boot fit or you're going to do a boot fit at home, wear the same socks you would when you're doing the majority of walking. I know everyone changes socks depending on the weather, so you could have slightly thinner socks and thicker socks, but pick something in between the two, then this will give you the best fit. Obviously, if you come into store wearing a pair of normal socks, really thin socks, and you intend to wear a chunky pair of walking socks because you like the comfort that that gives you, then we're not going to get the right fit. And it's the same at home. If you're measuring your feet and you're trying to measure your feet with a thin sock on and you intend to wear a thick sock, the measurements just aren't going to be quite right. So mistake number 2 is not wearing the right socks to your fitting or when you're fitting at home. So make sure you get the right pair of socks. It's worth taking a bit of time to pick a pair of socks out and bring them into store. Mistake number 3, downsizing when a boot doesn't fit. So there's a lot of reasons why a boot wouldn't fit you, and a lot of people assume that if a boot is slipping in the heel, the best option is to downsize, and that's certainly not the case with everything. So if you're getting a lot of slip in the heel, this could be for a number of different reasons. The first one is, of course, as we just said, that the boot is a little bit too big for you. If we've had a full measurement in store, if you've measured your feet at home and we've said you're a 7.5 and you're wearing a 7.5, although this isn't likely, it is still a possibility, so it's worth just getting the insole out, standing on it, and checking that you've got roughly a finger's width from the end of your longest toe to the end of the insole. If this is the case, then it might be another thing, and that is that the boot itself, the last of the boot, doesn't fit you very well. So different people have different shaped feet, and obviously boots are made to accommodate that. If you've got a very narrow heel and you're trying on a wide boot, then you're going to find that it doesn't matter how small you make the boot, your heel is always going to lift up and down. So it's time to try a different last. If you've got a narrow heel, an asymmetric fit might be a better option for you, or looking at a narrower option. So just because your foot is slipping in the back, it's not just because of the size, it could be to do with the last of the boot as well. So the next mistake we find a lot of people doing is not giving themselves enough room around their toes. So a lot of people are under the misunderstanding that you need to have your toes nicely held in place in a boot. As long as the heel's locked in and the forefoot's locked in, it's good to give yourself a little bit of space around your toes. The reason for this is that when you're going downhill, your feet tend to spread to accommodate for the shift in weight. So you want a little bit of room so that's still comfortable and that can happen without pushing on the sides of the boot or crushing your feet. And also your feet change. As you're walking, your feet will get warmer and they'll swell, so it's good to have a little bit of extra room around your toe box. So don't be afraid to have a little bit of extra room, it is actually a good thing. The final mistake we see people make really often is going up half a size. There's this common illusion that you have to go up half a size no matter what, and that's really not the case. There are some manufacturers that size up a little bit small and going up half a size will help. However, if you're doing an in-store fitting, we'll obviously chat you through this, but if you measure up at 7.5, the best thing to do is start at 7.5, and we'll have a look at see how that fits. If we think you need that half size up, we'll obviously talk to you about that and we'll go and fetch it so you can try it on in comparison. Like I said earlier in the video, we're looking for about a finger's width from the end of your longest toe to the end of the insole. So when you pop that insole out and stand on it, that's what we're looking for. If you're trying on at home and you're not quite sure, we can do this online fitting service again. You can go online, click on that, and we'll send you a footwear measuring guide, and then we'll give you some information when you get that information back to us. But it's really not as simple or as black and white as every single boot you try on, you need to go up half a size. It's really not the case. Come into store, have your feet measured, start from the measurement we provide for you, and we can go from there. If you need to go up half a size, that's obviously not an issue, but it shouldn't be a hard, fast rule that the second you try on a pair of boots, you need to go up half a size. Thank you very much for watching, guys. That was just 5 mistakes we see in store when people come in to have their feet measured. If you'd like any more information about boot fits, head to our website. If you'd like to try an online boot fitting service, we will leave a link in the description. If not, pop into store and we'll be happy to give you some time and let you try on a few boots. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps us out, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.